So in this video we're going to introduce probability, and we start with probability with the language of probability. And we need to know a few terms, and in the language of probability you're asked to choose words such as these to describe the chance of an event taking place. So we start with the word impossible, so the chances of something taking place. So for example, the chance of choosing a green pen out of a box of red pens. Well, if they're all red, it's impossible to pick out a green pen, so the word impossible will be used. At the other end of the scale, something that's certain to happen, so the probability of picking a green pen out of a box of green pens, it will be certain that you will pick a green pen because that's all there is to choose. In the centre, you've got an evens chance, so rolling a dice. What's the chance of rolling an even number? Well, there's the same number of even numbers as odd numbers, so we would say the chances of evens. And then in between these terms there are other words that describe the chances of things happening. So very unlikely to happen, or unlikely to happen, and equally likely to happen or very likely to happen. And you might get asked to describe the chance of something happening in an exam. We move on from words to then stick some numbers on. So this scale ranges from 0, so we would say the chance of if something is impossible, we would say it's got a 0 chance of happening. And if it was certain to happen, we would say it's got a probability of 1. So the scale of these words are then transposed into numbers, and it's somewhere between 0 and 1. 0 means it will definitely not happen, 1 means it's absolutely guaranteed to happen. And all the numbers in between are clearly decimals or fractions to show the difference. So an evens would be 0.5, or you might write that as a half. Or in fact we could write that as 50%. And we should be able to change between decimals, fractions and percentages, and that's covered on a different video. So sometimes the words disappear completely, and we move on just to use numbers. And the scale may change ever so slightly, might just not go into 0.5, we might start having it go up in 0.2, so it might be 0, 0.2, I've done that very well, 0, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8 and 1. And then you might get asked to mark on a line the probability of something taking place. So you might get asked, what's the probability that in a family of 3 children, one of them is a boy? So the probability of 3 children, what's the probability that one of them is a boy? You might say, well, it's quite a high probability, so it might be up here. Or the probability that it will snow on a summer's day. You might say, well, it's very unlikely to snow on a summer's day, so it will be down here. And you're just arbitrarily trying to choose whereabouts on the scale you think that the answer should be.